Welcome to Responding to Behavior Challenges in the Classroom, presented by Chris Graves, Administrative Dean of Students at Crete-Monee High School. After viewing this presentation, you will be able to identify reasons for challenging behavior, identify strategies for dealing with challenging behavior, and lastly, identify resources to assist you with challenging behavior. A couple things to keep in mind as we're getting started. All behavior is learned. It's important to focus on teaching desired replacement behaviors. It's essential that you don't internalize or personalize student issues, and behavior is strongly interrelated to the teaching environment. It is extremely important to understand the factors that affect students' behavior. The three main factors include personal factors, psychological factors, and environmental factors. Some personal factors include temperament and genetics. Some psychological factors include exposure to trauma and self-esteem. And some environmental factors include diet and peer pressure. It is also extremely important to understand and recognize the four functions of behavior. These functions are the motivations of student behavior and can explain why a student may be acting a certain way in your class. These four functions of behavior include attention seeking, task avoidance / escape, access to tangibles, and self-stimulation. Other things that you want to keep in mind when dealing with minimizing challenging behavior is identifying the function or the motivation of the behavior and the trigger. Always maintaining professionalism and maintaining your self-control. Remaining calm. Wait and actively listen to the student, and avoid power struggles. One of the most effective methods for reducing challenging behavior include prevention. Prevention can be done in a variety of ways. If you have quality teaching, effective classroom management, active engagement, and positive relationships and interactions with both students and families, it will greatly minimize the occurrences of challenging behavior in your classrooms. Next, I'll go over a few strategies that you can utilize when faced with challenging behavior in your classroom. The first is to ignore it and to address it at a later date when it causes the less disruption to the instructional environment. Next, we have verbal warnings and quick reminders of expectations, which should have been clearly explained and going over throughout the school year. Redirection and proximity is typically used for off-task or withdrawn students. Exiting or removal from the classroom environment is typically used when the behavior is severe or a constant disruption to the learning environment. Formal consequences are used and they result in discipline referrals or teacher detention after exhausting multiple classroom interventions. It's important to remember that all responses to behavior should be consistent, fair, and result in the least disruption to the learning environment. You have a variety of resources at your disposal when dealing with challenging behaviors in your classroom. Some of these resources include PBIS, division leaders and department chairs, deans and other building administration, other teachers, case managers, social workers, counselors, and parents. Here are a couple more resources that you can utilize online to assist you with dealing with challenging behavior in your classrooms. And this concludes the presentation. I want to thank you for viewing this presentation, and I hope that you gain some practical and beneficial strategies that you can implement this coming school year with dealing with students with challenging behaviors.